What is up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel down here. We are doing a reaction video for the very first time on my channel. I have never done one of these, so bear with me. I thought it would be such a fun idea to go through and watch my beginning videos, like my pregnancy videos. The one that I started my channel with is the one I'm starting this video with. It's how I knew I was pregnant, my very first pregnancy symptoms. It, to this day, still has the most views out of any video on my channel, and I have been at this now for exactly 4 years. Well, yeah, just over 4 years actually. So I thought this would be a fun Momtober video. So if you guys found me through those beginning pregnancy videos, leave me a comment down below. I have definitely gone through such a journey. So I thought it would be fun to kind of go back, see where I was at and what was happening in my life, and then kind of just share my thoughts and my reactions with you guys as well. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. If you do, give it a thumbs up. Make sure that you are subscribed to my channel, because now I do all kinds of motherhood, lifestyle, cooking videos, toddler activities, all kinds of things related to that. So I'd love to have you a part of my channel. Without further ado, we will push play on this video. And I'm going to give you my reactions, my thoughts, my feelings, and like, I don't know, I haven't watched any of these videos in 4 years, like at all. I haven't watched them. So I'm just looking at the screenshot right here. I'm like, whoa, the makeup, the lighting, the perfection that I was trying to achieve. And now look at me right now. Like, now look. Anywho, all right, let's click play here. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be all about those very first pregnancy symptoms. So I did a lot of Googling. I had a lot of symptoms, not a lot, but I guess we could call them subtle symptoms that weren't so subtle to me because I'm very in touch with my body and I was ready. I thought I was pregnant the moment, you know, it happened. But so I did a lot of Googling of symptoms and like, am I pregnant? What is the very first signs of pregnancy? Like, what did you feel before you even knew you were pregnant? You know, those types of things. I didn't find a ton as far as videos go, so I wanted to dedicate a video to it. Wow, I'm such a talker. I'm gonna try to fast forward, and I'm pretty sure one of the top comments is like a timestamp on when my symptoms actually start. But I remember just being so excited. I'm a talker anyway, and I remember just explaining that there weren't a lot of resources. Like my symptoms that I was feeling, I couldn't find them online in a video at all. Anyway, we'll try to skip to the symptoms. Okay, I have a notepad here of things that I wrote down because I am 17 weeks along. It took me a long time to want to share this on YouTube because it is so scary in the beginning, and you know, you're just like, you know, you're praying for everything to go well, you're exhausted. The implantation into the uterine wall is what I was feeling as gas cramps, even though it wasn't gas. Oh, the bloating, which I still get a ton. It's crazy. The pregnancy bloat is like no other bloat I have ever, and I have, hang on. The gagging. Okay, so gas cramps. Yes, I felt like the little like soda bubble gas cramps in my belly, and they were kind of like uncomfortable. I had to unbutton my pants a lot. And then the bloating, oh my word, I was so bloated. Now I'm like just a constant ball of bloat. So, you know, welcome to life. And then what you just saw there was my gag reflex. It was the worst throughout my pregnancy, and I still get it, even though I'm not, obviously, I'm, you know, not pregnant. I still get it nowadays, where it will just, it's not like I smelled something gross or I like had a nauseous stomach or anything. It's just a gag reflex that it just makes me gag. I had that throughout my pregnancy. It was really intense. I couldn't control it a lot of times. It was really bad. I would like dry heave. I would gag so hard that it would be like loud, like dry heaving. And I wasn't nauseous again. It was just an extremely intense gag reflex. Anyway, that's what just happened there. You guys, I have the worst gagging. Sorry, gross. It's just reality. And I was exhausted. I could not stop sleeping. So I went in her spare room and I just napped. She had to go run errands or something. And I was sleeping when she got back, and she, you know, she was like, oh, okay, you must be tired, whatever. No one thought I remember this too. I remember going to my mom's house and I was so tired in the middle of the afternoon that I fell asleep in her spare room, which I don't nap. So that was like, I knew at that point, like I knew I was pregnant anyway. But watching this video back, well, clearly this wonderful, beautiful screenshot of me, just looking at it back, I can see how happy I was. I was just so happy to be pregnant. I was so happy to be having a baby. It was like everything I ever wanted in one moment in time. I remember I was so happy, and my coworkers, my boss, like everyone kept saying, like, you're so different, you're so happy. And just watching this back, I can actually truly see how happy I really was in that time. I felt energetic, I felt alive, and also, like, I wish I did my makeup nowadays once in a while. Anyway, that's my very first video that I posted. We're not going to finish it out. I was just sharing my my symptoms here, but now I want to go through and watch a couple, maybe like pregnancy video and then maybe like a newborn video as well, and kind of see what was happening then. Okay, so breastfeeding struggles. I remember having a ton of breastfeeding struggles in the beginning, and it was really exhausting. But I wanted to share, you know, my breastfeeding journey in the very beginning and talk about just what it was like.
Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about those first 2 weeks of breastfeeding and the struggles, just how tough it really is. You instantly latch, and I guess all babies do, or most babies do, that's what I've been told. So I was very excited to see that she knew what she was doing. I put her to the breast and she instantly started sucking, and what seemed like, you know, swallowing, and it looked like she knew exactly what she was doing. So that was really exciting, and I got my hopes up thinking like, oh cool, this is gonna be fine. A couple hours later, a nurse came in and said we're gonna try to latch again. But she was born 4 pounds 14 ounces, so very small, and her mouth is so little that it was hard for her to get the nipple completely back into her mouth where it needed to be. It needs to touch the soft palate, which I didn't really know, and I didn't realize how deep of a latch you have to actually get with a baby.
I feel like I'm very informative. I didn't remember any of this stuff. And watching this back, I feel like it's very informative, which I hope it is to everyone who's watched this video. Almost 500,000. I hope it's helped people. Anyway, I didn't remember any of this.
I would try to get her to latch. She wouldn't. She might chomp a little bit, but she wouldn't. On both sides I would try it, and then if that didn't work, which it didn't any of the times, I would hand express into a spoon. Then daddy would feed her from the spoon. So first he would dip his pinky into the colostrum and then have her sniff it on her nose and then put it into her mouth with his pinky, and he would have to get all the way in, like this far in to her soft palate before she would start sucking, and then she would start sucking. He would just continue to do that with the pinky.
It's kind of mind-blowing to look back and think my child, for the first 24 hours of her life, just ate drops of colostrum out of a spoon and off of pinky and survived and like gained weight, and it's just mind-blowing. It's just mind-blowing. Liquid gold, for real. Liquid gold before your milk actually comes in.
Came in one night because I was just about to feed her, and she goes, "Can I watch?" And I was like, okay. Mind you, I'm a first-time mom. I've never breastfed. I didn't take any breastfeeding courses at all, so which I probably should have, but I didn't. So I was a little bit nervous and didn't want to be watched and critiqued.
I remember clear as day when that nurse came in and was watching that like nursing session. We didn't know what we were doing. I didn't know what I was doing, and Sydney was having troubles latching, and I just remember feeling so uncomfortable and just I didn't know what I was doing, and having like a nurse kind of watch you and stare at you, and I know they're just there to try to, you know, make sure the baby's being fed. I know that, but in the time I just remember feeling so defeated and uncomfortable, and like I had just failed, and it was horrible. And then she went and got the lactation consultant, and then that's where we're at right now. But I just remember that feeling. So if any of you remember that feeling, if any of you are pregnant and you've never been there before, like, it's okay. It doesn't always come naturally and easily to every mom and baby. But we got there, and that's where we're about to be right now.
kind of tiring struggle, and then you just gave birth and you're not sleeping anyway and you're exhausted, and it's a whole thing. So anyway, the lactation consultant came back in. That visit prompted the cup. We have this silicone little cup here. Also, she brought her pump in, which usually they don't have you pump your colostrum because you don't pump a whole lot, but because when I was hand expressing, I was actually expressing a lot. She brought her pump in, which was I contribute to saving my milk supply and saving breastfeeding for me and Sydney.
Anyway, long story short with this video, it's just bringing back memories of like everything a mom goes through to try to breastfeed. It's a lot, from, you know, using the nipple shield, pumping constantly, trying to latch constantly, keeping a record of how long she actually latched and I could hear her or like see, I can't even remember how it goes. And then outputs of diapers and pumping after they nurse, and then switching sides, and oh my word, it's just a lot. So, you know, power to all of us moms, for real. Whether you do or don't, power to all of you. Okay, so let's move on from the nursing video. I want to move on to maybe one of my pregnancy videos. I miss being pregnant so bad, and I really want to go back and watch some of my pregnant videos. Okay, pregnancy updates. Which one should we do? Pregnancy update 25 weeks, first trimester. I think I want to do the 29 to 35 weeks because this one right here was, well, high blood pressure. Yeah, let's do this one, the 29 to 35 weeks. I just want to look back at this video. I remember how I was feeling. I remember my symptoms. I remember everything. So I'm talking about that carpal tunnel feeling. I think I talked about that randomly in one of my previous videos just a couple of videos ago, and I talk about that in this video. And then I'm also remembering the swelling. I remember I couldn't get my words out in this video. My tongue, it wasn't my tongue, it was like my jaw, you know, that hormone relaxin that your body's pumped so that you can like spread out in your limbs and everything when you were pregnant. I remember that being in full force, and I remember not being able to like form words because my jaw and my mouth were just so, it was weird. I felt like that no one ever talked about that either. Okay, here we go.
I am so sorry it's been so long since I filmed. It's been over a month. I left you off at, I think, my glucose test, which was about at 28 weeks. I am now 35 weeks pregnant. A lot has changed and gone on between 28 and 35 weeks. I am mind blown at how fast this wole pregnancy is going. I only have 5 more weeks till my due date. So really, you know, in a couple of weeks, it could happen anytime. So I thought I would come on here and update you guys on what has been going on. Assuming my baby has Rh positive, because daddy is Rh positive and I am Rh negative. So assuming my baby has Rh positive blood, they went ahead and gave me a shot. You can Google what that means. It's just I have a different blood type that will create antibodies against Rh positive blood. So if I, God forbid, had any bleeding or anything like that, it would be very bad because my body would try to attack that blood in my system or my baby's blood, something like that. Like in your first pregnancy, it's not as important, like not as, what do you call it? I don't know. Your blood probably won't mix, but if I have another child down the road, then my body would try to attack that baby's blood. It sounds terrible. It's apparently very common. My mom had to go do the same thing. So at 30 weeks, I noticed during the nighttime, I would wake up and my right hand was completely numb, like as if I had been sleeping on it wrong and it fell asleep. So, and then during the day, it would tingle a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. So over the last couple of weeks, it has gotten progressively absolutely terrible. In the middle of the night, no matter what position I am in, my hand, it feels like someone is just stabbing it with knives, and I'm not being dramatic at all. Like, if any of you have had this symptom, you absolutely understand what I'm talking about. They call it a pregnancy carpal tunnel. Now,
I was not being dramatic either. It was by far the worst symptom of my pregnancy, and I'm not a complainer. I have a very high pain tolerance. I just have a high pain tolerance, let's just put it that way. And this made me cry some nights. Not like, it was just so uncomfortable and so painful. It's hard to describe because I feel like I don't know if many other people have this or have experienced it. I know what I'm about to talk about here is what they kept calling it carpal tunnel, because I feel like the doctors didn't really, I don't know, they didn't understand what I was saying. But I don't know many people, at least in my real life, who have ever experienced this. It wasn't carpal tunnel like in my wrist or anything. It was just like a numb hand. It wasn't numb because I had that pain feeling in it, but it felt like someone seriously was stabbing my hands and my fingers with knives. No drama there. That was how it felt. Anyway, that was a horrible symptom.
Mine, of course, is not typical. I never have the typical symptoms. Usually you feel it in your wrist, carpal tunnel, and it's just from inflammation and swelling. Well, mine, I must have inflammation and swelling somewhere like in my elbow, shoulder, or wrist that is affecting my fingers. My pinky I can feel, but these first 4 fingers are like completely numb. My hand itself is pretty swollen. I honestly feel like I have a ham steak as a hand. I feel like it's huge. I wake up, I can't make a fist. Now, you know, throughout the day I can move it and whatnot, but in the middle of the night, I have to try to constantly shake it out, change positions, just hope to fall asleep. I'm trying to stay really hydrated. I don't know if you notice, but I feel like I'm talking with a lisp a lot more right now. And my jaw, it feels like I can't bite down as like I used to. I don't know. It's probably the hormone relaxin, which is very common during pregnancy. It's that hormone that's gonna allow our ligaments and joints to loosen up to give birth. It affects a lot of different areas in your body, and I feel like it's affecting my jaw. It doesn't hurt at all, but I notice when I wake up, I talk with a lisp, and when I go to bite down for the first time, first couple of meals, I notice like I can't connect my jaw. I don't know how to describe it. My teeth don't meet where they used to meet. So it's kind of weird, but I'm pretty sure that's from the hormone relaxin. And then one day on the couch, my boyfriend and I were sitting there and I felt like intense motion in my belly. So I lifted up my shirt and you could 100% see like a leg or an arm just flipping in my belly. And from then on, I've been feeling movements in my rib cage and down near my pelvis. So she is now head down as of our last appointment, 34 weeks. So as of our last appointment 1 week ago, the doctor told us that she was head down. So
So I specifically remember that big flip, and she had flipped to head down on that night. I think it was, if I remember correctly, Christmas. It seemed like it was a holiday. I remember the big flip where it was intense, and I tried to like quickly take my covers off and like lift up so I can see, and it was just this big intense like bumpy ball of motion in my belly, and that was her flipping head down. And yeah, so she was getting ready, getting into position at 34 weeks.
I'm definitely feeling like I am getting really, I'm not gonna use the word fat. I'm getting uncomfortable. Let's just put it that way. When I wake up, I notice I'm retaining a lot of water around my jawline. My face is poofing out. My legs, my thighs in particular have gotten really like water retained, and it doesn't feel so good. But I have to just keep reminding myself my body is working on making a miracle here, and I have to just keep like...
I like how I'm trying to give myself some confidence right there and act like I'm okay with it. I remember being very self-conscious, very self-conscious about how swollen I was. I remember in my maternity photos, I did not like anything that was showing my knees because I lost my knees and they were just like trunks. And I just felt so swollen. And it was the very first time in my pregnancy that I wasn't confident in the way that I looked, because I had never been swollen before. Little did I know. I mean, here I am, but I was trying to be confident for the camera, and I definitely was feeling very self-conscious at the time.
Update, so let's do that. Okay, so this is my 35-week belly bump update. It has definitely grown in the past week, I want to say. I feel like I was very small for the longest time, and now I'm finally starting to pop out there. And as this little girl grows, she's gaining about 1/2 pound a week, so it's about time.
Okay, anyway, enough of the pregnancy stuff. It's making me sad that I'm not pregnant in the near future. Okay, so let's move along. I want to see a little video of Sydney when she was a little tiny baby. Let's see if we can find, okay, baby updates. Let's do 5-month baby update. Or 7-month. Let's do 5 months. Oh, you guys.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This video is...
You're joking, right? You're joking. That's me. With a 5-month-old baby. Who did I think I was, honestly? With the full face of makeup, the lipstick, the like tube top shirt. Honestly, you guys, back in the beginning of my channel, so I started out with a beauty channel and then I went to this channel. I was not comfortable showing my face without makeup. I felt like I had to be in full glam in order to film. That's probably why it took me a month in between filming updates, because I felt like I had to get full glam, do the lashes, do the eyeshadow, and the whole 9 yards, and like look presentable. My word, look at me now. I'm like, I need to do something with myself. I don't always look like this, you guys know, but maybe I do. Yeah, in order to film, I felt like I had to be in full face and full glam. Don't get me wrong, I felt, and I feel like I still look back at that and I'm like, that would be so fun some days to just get all glam and just feel so exuberantly pretty and just, you know, but I don't need that anymore in order to film. Thank goodness, because I would never film, obviously. I just don't have that. I guess I could make time, but I just don't want to. I'm tired. I work. You know, it's just life has changed, obviously. And, you know, don't get me wrong, I would love to go back to, you know, doing makeup a few times a week. That would be fun. But I just remember not being confident at all in my channel and who my followers were and who I was on YouTube at the time. Like, I had no subscribers, you guys. I was just a small, tiny channel. And, yeah, I'm just looking back at this. How is that a 5-month update? Like, what? If anyone's watching that video right now, they're probably feeling pretty bad about themselves. Oh my goodness. Okay, anyway, let's start this.
1.5-month appointment, she was 10 pounds, 3.5 ounces. So I'm assuming she's about 10.5 pounds. And over 23 inches long now. She is phenomenal. She sleeps unswaddled. She's about to roll over from her back to her tummy. She just can't get... Oh, let me get her. Yeah, so she sleeps unswaddled now. She has been unswaddled for a couple of weeks. She sleeps her 12 hours. It's about 8:30 at night. She might sleep like 11 and a half hours now. She sleeps from about 8:30 at night until 8 o'clock in the morning. And she does about 4 half-hour naps. She's in 3-month size clothing. Soon enough, she'll be in 6-month clothing or 3 to 6 month clothing. Let's see. She still is absolutely obsessed with her playmat. If you guys from Carter's. She's got a little bit of a lopsided head, so she might need some physical therapy to help her neck. So she was born with one side of her neck, I can't remember what it's called, but one side of her neck is tighter than the other side, so she favors looking to the right. So if she's always looking to the right or sleeping to the right.
You guys, I still cannot get over this full face of glam right now. That used to be me. Anywho, yes, Sydney had a lopsided head for the longest time because when she was born, I guess it's very common with a lot of preemies. She wasn't technically a preemie because she was born 36 weeks in one day, but she was tiny. And I guess it's common with tiny babies is that they favor one side and then one side of their neck can be tight. And we had talked about physical therapy, but I tried to work on it myself with her and I felt like she was correcting it and I just kind of like kept her up and tried to get her on the other side and just kept her up a lot. And it did slowly correct itself. But if you notice, if you look at Sydney, she still has a lazy eye. And so, poor kid. I don't even know if you would call it a lazy eye, but it tends, I guess it is. It tends to, it's not cross-eyed or anything, but it's just a tiny bit smaller or a tiny bit like less strong than the other ones, and that will probably correct itself, or maybe it won't, I don't know. But that is also has to do with her little head. She didn't need a helmet. And again, the doctor was never concerned. I think it was more me. And I'm like, well, I think her head's lopsided. So we just worked on her looking the other way and like just strengthening the other side of her neck. But I remember thinking, uh-oh, my kid's going to need a helmet and I'm going to need to go to physical therapy and like do all, you know, but I was just being so dramatic about it. Anyway. Okay, so now we're jumping along to another update because I know I showed Sydney in this and I really wanted to see Sydney as a little baby. And yeah, again with the full glam. Maybe I don't miss the lashes, but I definitely miss like looking put together. And so Sydney was 7 months here. I'm curious to know what I say about her weight. At this point, I was already a single mom and I did not share that with you guys. I cannot remember. I'll try to find another video where I did share this with you. And I wasn't, well, yeah, I was pretty ashamed. But anyway, let's look at the 7-month update and see where Sydney was at.
Last time I was saying how much she weighed, I had a couple of, you know, negative comments. And just keep in mind, every baby's different. She was a little early, and so I ran into a girl at the store actually whose baby was even smaller in the same age, so it doesn't matter. They're healthy. She weighed 12 pounds, 13 ounces. And
I used to get comments a lot. I can't say a lot. It felt like a lot because I was still receiving like 4 comments on a video where people would say, what's wrong with her? Why is she so tiny? What's wrong with her? And I just feel like people just don't have a filter sometimes, or they don't think about how their comments could be received negatively. And like about her hair too, people comment about what's wrong with her hair. And then I notice it about other people's children. People comment and I'm like, it's just ignorant. And I'm not calling you ignorant. I'm just saying like, whoa, hold up, hang on. Let's put a filter on. Like, you're talking about a little tiny baby. Is that necessary? Every baby is different. And if there was something wrong, do you really need to act like, is it, you know? Anyway, it was one of the things where I was like, what? She's just small. What do you mean? What's wrong with her? That was a comment I just never understood. Anyway, and I'm looking back at this and like, oh, my healthy mommy hair. Anywho, videos. I want to find maybe a video where I was talking about being a single mom. The video that we are about to watch, it says life update, and that's all it says, and it's from 3 years ago. And so February, March, April, May, June, July, August. So Sydney was 6 months. I guess this was before the breastfeeding or before the 7-month update. And I'm pretty sure I know what I'm going to talk about here. I'm pretty sure it was my first leave of absence I've ever had. And I don't remember if this is the first video I ever mentioned that I was a single mom in or not, but I guess we'll push play and see where I was at. Guys, as you can tell, today's video is kind of a dreary one. So I thought I would give you a little bit of a life update. Life has gotten a little bit trying and difficult, that's for sure. So I'm being very raw and real right now, no makeup, like disgusting, hardly any sleep. So I thought I'd give you guys a little bit of an update because I know like I'm kind of sporadic with my posting and then Snapchat as well. I'm officially a single mom, living on my own, just my daughter and I. And it is gonna be really hard. I'm doing everything on my own financially too, so I think that's the scariest thing for me is like when you're faced with something in life, sometimes you wonder, how am I gonna get through this? Like, why am I going through this? How am I gonna get through it? Type of a thing. But I know no matter what, everything is gonna be fine. It's gonna work out. Sometimes in life you're faced with things that you have absolutely no idea how you're gonna get through it. You don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. Like right now for me, I own this condo. And yeah, I don't know, having a child, you know, I can't work as much, and I work nights, so it's very hard to find childcare for nighttime. And then not only that, but I can't pay someone, you know, I don't know. It's this whole thing, like how am I gonna get through it? How am I gonna pay my bills? Oh, you guys, this is bringing back so many emotions and so many memories. The fear. not that I ever financially, so the issue financially was never losing someone else's income to help pay the bills, because I never received financial help from my other significant other at the time. The issue was he watched my child so that I could work and make money to pay the bills, and work my normal schedule that I needed to make my income. And by being a single mom, I no longer had that. I had to worry and not have reliable childcare. And then I had to also try to maybe find a babysitter, and then I would have to pay that babysitter while I worked. So really my income was like cut way down, and I just could not fathom how I was going to make this work. And it was a really stressful time in my life. And actually, the person still lived in my house for quite a long time after we broke up. And that was the worst thing ever. I couldn't get them to leave. And it was just so bad behind the scenes. You guys never got a taste of that. And it's fine. Like, not everything needs to be on the internet. That's for sure. I can just share with you my thoughts and feelings now and kind of how it was. It definitely does not need to be on the internet, but wow, August 28th, 2017. And here we are 3 years later. I'm happy. Sydney's happy. We're healthy. We're doing it. Like, we're doing it. And wow, I'm gonna cry. Like, we made it happen. We're doing it successfully. All of those struggles and this was only the first bump in the road. This was the first bump of many, many to come. But wow.
I'm not so worried about how am I going to take care of my daughter 24/7, because I pretty much did that anyway. But yeah, and it's, even though I did it anyway and financially almost did it by myself anyway, it's more like once you're actually faced with it and you're actually like, okay, now you're really on your own, I think it just gets really, really scary and you don't know how you're going to do something. I had to do it for me. I had to do it for my daughter. No matter what, she's the most important thing on this planet, and I do everything for her, and I make sure that she's safe and she's going to be happy and healthy in her environment. And just the environment that we were in before was not a healthy environment. I do know that I want to continue to make YouTube videos, and I want to be able to stay at home with Sydney. That's like the only way. It's not the only way. Like, I know I could figure it out, but it's the way that I want it to be. I want to be able to stay at home with her. I want to be able to make money from home. I mean, who doesn't? But so in order for me to survive and to help myself even more, I'm basically going to commit myself to a minimum of 2 videos a week. My goal is 3 videos a week. It's going to be really, really trying and really hard to get them up, so I'm going to include a lot of vlogs, I think. Those are the easiest for me to film and edit and get up pretty quickly, so I'm going to be doing that a lot. But just keep in mind, it's only me here with Sydney, so please bear with me and we'll get through this. I don't know how I'm going to find free time and spare time to do it and to make sure she's happy and playing still while Mama's filming. But
see, you don't have to know the path. You don't have to know how it's going to work. You just have to believe in it, and you just have to believe in the glory that like lies, you know? You don't have to know how you're going to get there, but you will get there. Just believe it. Ugh. I'm so emotional. Just reliving all of those feelings of anxiety and worry, and like desperately wanting to be a work from home mom, like desperately wanting to just feel comfortable and okay and provide for my daughter, and like figuring out how is this going to work? Do I need to get a new job? I don't want a new job. I want to, yeah.
It is so like daunting. The task is daunting when you look at it, but somehow you do it and you're going to figure it out, and it's scary, and I don't know. My hat goes off to all of you, and I love you, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Mwah.
Whew. Okay, you guys, we are going to end. Let me see if I can like make my screen a little bigger. Okay, you guys, so on that note, we are going to end this video here. It's kind of amazing to go back and watch my journey from the moment I found out I was pregnant, or like the very first video that I shared. You could just see me gleaming and like just so truly happy, because I truly was in that moment, to, you know, pregnancy and her little baby updates, and then, you know, my very first video where I announced that I was a single mom, and kind of being at I wasn't at my bottom yet, because trust me, the next year was a journey, or the next several months was a journey for sure. But, and just to see, you know, where we are right now is just such a beautiful thing. But yeah, definitely been on a roller coaster ride. So if you guys have been here for this journey, I love you guys. And I love your support, and it means so much to me. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this random reactive video, and I hope it was of okay quality. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.
If you're gonna leave me, then just do it. Don't take it slow.